This is the irony of the nutrition industry, right? We have all these nutrition zealots go, oh, show me the data. We're like, well, dude, tell me what you feel like, right? Like, I don't give a shit about the data. I give a shit about N=1, right? You. And like, if you feel like shit when you eat a steak, well, don't eat a steak. Like, I haven't eaten chicken. I've eaten chicken probably 3 times in the last 3 years, just because it doesn't work for me. Like, I just don't feel great on chicken. I feel bloated. I get brain fog. I could eat, beef or elk or venison or all these wilder type meats all day. I feel amazing. If I eat chicken, I feel like crap. If I eat fish, I feel amazing. So you have to learn. You have to learn to listen and pay attention rather than just having this paradigm around, oh, this is healthy and this is not. It doesn't make sense. So some vegetables may be great for you. Some others may not be.
100%. Are there any like red flag foods that you found you try to avoid with anyone other than the obvious, or anything that people may well be overlooking, do you think?
Well, chicken is one. I think that most people think chicken is this ubiquitously
that chicken and rice diet life.
Oh, it's terrible, man. Chicken's one of the most poorly fed animals on the planet. And you become not just what that animal, but you become what that animal ate. So when they're eating soy and corn and other shitty grains, like that's ultimately turning into your body. So I think chicken's one of these foods that are just massively overrated. If you're going to choose it, make sure they're eating a natural diet. Make sure they're eating, maybe you can eat turkey. Turkey tends to sometimes be better because they tend to not mass produce them as much. They're not just feeding them soy and shit to fatten them up. Fish, wild fish, I like all those things. I mean, that kind of stuff is important. Obviously gluten. I really think gluten is just one of those things that every human being should remove. Especially in North America, there's just no benefit. And could you argue like, oh, I can get away with it? I don't give a shit what you can get away with. You can probably get away with eating a donut every day too, but it's probably not the best idea for your long-term health. So yeah, I would say gluten's one. Most grains are pretty much a complete waste of time. The only one I think is maybe useful is I would say white rice, just because it's a carbohydrate source that's really not inflammatory to most people, right? So we're just looking for, I kind of frame nutrition through this lens of inflammation. So is it increasing inflammation? Then don't eat it. If it's not going to increase inflammation, then you're good to go. So as you say, Charlie, you get a little tired when you eat. Something in there is likely driving inflammation, but it could be your microbiome. It could be some leaky gut that exists. It could be just stress that as soon as you put that food in, it sets off some alarm in your body that's telling your immune system to respond with this stress immune response or this inflammatory response. Which could be just a cross-contamination of proteins. Like maybe you have a mild allergy to gluten, and maybe you took a little bit of dairy in with that. And gluten and dairy and casein tend to go hand in hand. Or like there's so many different reasons why that could happen. But ultimately, if you get to health, meaning you heal your gut, you heal your microbiome, you reduce inflammation, you optimize insulin sensitivity, you have a much wider window to experience foods without having those negative effects.